How's it going, everybody, and welcome to a brand new video. Today we are talking all about Raidou Remastered. Not just the game itself, but specifically the DLC. Which DLC from Raidou Remastered should you buy, and which should you skip, and which should you write to your local member of Congress to complain about? We're going to discuss all of that today. I've been enjoying my time with Raidou Remastered a lot. I'm still working my way through the game, slowly but surely. And man, do I really wish I could stop being such a negative Nancy with these Atlas DLC reviews. I was not a big fan of how Metaphor was handled, and unfortunately it looks like Atlas has listened to my complaints and said, hold my beer, I can make you more upset and somehow still be more of a ripoff. Raidou Remastered as a game, I think, is an incredible value at $50. I think it is very fun. You get a lot of bang for your buck. There's a lot of hard work and very clear effort that went into making this game a lot more modern than the original game from 2006. Then they were like, hey, how can we make money on this, though, more? Because, obviously, it's an Atlas game. Atlas games don't just come out without DLC anymore. What are you, knucklehead? So, there were a couple things they could do. Were they going to include costume DLC? Were they going to include music DLC? Were they going to include elements of Raidou 2? Possibly, maybe a new story, something. And this is just one of the weirdest hodgepodge of DLCs Atlas has ever done. So, with all the DLC, including pre-order bonus, Day 1 edition, or Sega account bonus codes, there are 9 pieces of DLC for this whole game. First up, you have the Kuzunoha Village Trainings. These are 3 different areas where you can go and farm for either experience, money, or power. Power is the form of stat increases for you and your demons. This DLC is $6.99. I'll be showing it off and talking about it a little bit more later. Next up, there's the Demons of the Aerial Rift. This is a interesting DLC. It is located in the training hall, and it just adds 4 extra dungeon rifts for you to go through. So if you are familiar with the game where you're purging these rifts, it just adds these specific 4 rifts that are tons of demons being thrown at you, and add some extra little bosses in there, but they're all just normal demons that you would fight normally in the game. And for each one, you'll get an exclusive item that can be farmed to just make your demons more powerful. That DLC for those 4 rifts is $4.99. There is a Guest Demons pack. This is $3.99, and the choices for this are absolutely wild. You've got Fionn MacCumhill and Artemis, as well as Zeus from SMT5. You've got Huanlong, who the model is ripped from SMT5, but has been in a bunch of other stuff as well, along with the other ones. As well as an interesting inclusion of Gozuki and Mezuki from Raidou 2. What's extra funny about this is base Raidou Remastered already has plenty of demons like Idun and Mermaid from SMT5, while Gozuki and Mezuki straight up are just ripped from Raidou 2. So it's like, these demons have never felt more out of place. I think DLC demons or personas in Atlas games always look weird, but I'm going to show off in the footage here, like, they are just so out of place. It is super, super weird. Next up is the Skill Book Pack. This is $3.99. You get a bunch of books that can be used as a way to just make your demons more powerful right away. None of these are exclusive to the DLC and can all be easily obtained. You've got the Book of Agidine, Bufunine, Zeodine, Zondine, Tarukajan, Makakajan, Rakukajan, Dioron, Media, State of Bliss, and Summer Recharm. Now, I'm sure I butchered every single one of those. You get 1 book that I listed, and that's it. Again, these are all going to be easily found just through playing the game like normal. Why this is the equivalent of 6 exclusive demons. I have no idea. This one is really, really egregious price-wise. And then there is also a survival pack. This one is extra weird. So the survival pack comes with 2 rank keys, which are used for your sword alchemy, 9 bombs of life, which just revive Raidou in battle, but then also there is this unique item called the Survival Erudition, and this is exclusive to the DLC. This is like the weirdest thing ever. Like, Raidou Remastered is not that hard of a game and is very generous with the difficulty levels in terms of offering you a challenge or going easier on you, but this DLC exclusive item, which you can only get by having this DLC, lets you basically have a once more where you will, if you fall in battle, you will be automatically revived with full HP. And I will say, as someone who didn't love the idea of owning these, I did want to check it out just to see what it was like in the game. The DLC, once you own it and it's in your party, is toggle on and offable. So if you have all the DLC either through the deluxe edition or if you bought the bundle, which we're going to get into what I think is worth it and not, if for whatever reason you stumble into having this DLC, it is toggled off by default. I think that's really smart. It just absolutely breaks the game even more than the other stuff we're going to get into, but the items are just so egregiously priced, so weird, offer almost no meaningful, unique experience other than just trying to rob yourself of playing the game any earlier. Other ones that are going to be a little bit harder to explain in video form, you've got the pre-order bonus / launch day edition DLC. This is the closest thing we have to costume DLC, and it is actually a fucking joke. We have the Raidou glasses. This cannot be bought. This is only available if you had pre-ordered the game digitally or bought a game physically, and there's a code in all physical copies of it for these glasses. These are the only costume adjustments Raidou has, and these glasses are so minuscule, so lame, just like the lowest form of effort possible. It's not even like, oh, it's someone specific. It's like, oh, this is Joker's glasses from Persona 5. No, it's literally just some dude's glasses. And this is how you know they didn't even care. The way you equip it is you just go to the menu and you just scroll to the bottom of the items, and you can just select the glasses, and it goes, cool, they're on. Nothing is different in the HUDs. They're in the world, and they're in battle. You can see them there, but it's like they make no difference. Of course, they're not in the pre-rendered cutscenes. It's a good thing they gave this away, because I think even if they had the audacity to try and charge for these glasses, it's like, it's like extra frustrating when it's insulting for something I got for free, that I'm like, one of the worst pieces of this DLC are these stupid glasses, and it's only because there's so little effort that went into them. It's absolutely outrageous. Speaking of free DLC, though, there is an interesting one that you can still get if you are one of the 7 people using the new Sega account system. This one is exclusive. It is the Survival Pack Light Gear Edition. So, what is the Survival Pack Light Gear Edition, all 3 of you are asking? Well, from now until the end of July 31st to be exact, if you made a Sega account, and if you just look up like Sega account or Sega rewards, you'll be able to find this pretty easily. They did a similar free DLC drop with Pirate Yakuza earlier this year. The service has been pretty underwhelming. It's mostly just, hey, can we give Sega some of your information for free, and in return we'll give you the world's saddest piece of free DLC next to glasses. And that's what the Survival Pack Light Gear is. Comes with 2 somas, which are just used to restore your health and mag. Totally whatever, that's fine, not a big deal. But what's also interesting is this is the only other way to get the Survival Erudition, and what's funny is, like, you get 5 of them, again, revives you. It's just, what's so weird about this is the fact that, like, it's this weird item they made only through premium DLC or by doxing yourself to Sega, and it's like, okay, cool, it's there, but, like, all of these item DLCs are just so not needed to beat the game. Like, most people are not going to complain about how frustratingly hard Raidou is, especially because there are so many ways to not only grind items, but also get better demons and level up your characters so fast. It's just super, super strange. Last bits of DLC I wanted to give a shout out to. There are two. They are called a Special Briefing and the Demonic Designation Summoner titles. The Special Briefing is a free DLC. This one is basically just a bunch of lore and other stuff to read after you've finished the game. Obviously, if you've already played Raidou before and you don't want to have to wait, it's unlocked as soon as it's downloaded. There are massive spoiler warnings before doing it, so it's not like you have to beat the game before you can see the story stuff. It's all text, it's nothing flashy, it's just in your detective's journal. I think it's cool that it's there, especially this was information that was not very easily accessible to people playing the game back on the PS2 version. This would be supplemental information you had to either learn through like official like guides or interviews and other things released, stuff that never got officially translated in America. So if you're someone who wants to know a little bit more information about the ending of Raidou 1 or just the world in general of that mystery, this is a cool free piece of DLC. And the other one has just come out recently. The Summoner titles was a bunch of fan-voted on and fan-nominated titles that you can give to Raidou while playing. You get a handful of free titles. The weird thing is, depending on your language, whatever language you're playing the game on, like if you're playing in English or if you're playing in Japanese or if you're playing in French, the titles are all different. I don't know why they didn't just let you get all of them. It's really weird. I think the titles are like a funny thing. Like, yeah, it's cool that like you can now call yourself a Megatenist in a Megaten game, but I don't know why it wasn't just a patch. I don't know why it's not just all of them. It seems really weird, especially because, like, for fan-voted on stuff that's, like, Sega and Atlas have done before, like with SMT5 Vengeance, when they added in the extra Demon Navigators, like, that was a really cool, meaty update for free, based on a fan vote, and had some cool implications to the whole game, whereas, like, this was just kind of like, cool, here was a Twitter poll, there you go, you now can call yourself a he-homie. Thank you for your $50. And again, it's free DLC. It's not worth being upset about. But, like, most people out there, I don't think are even going to check for it on the PlayStation Store or wherever you're downloading your DLC from. Why not just push it as a free title update? It seems like most people are going to miss this unless you're following it. And especially with how soft Raidou Remaster sales have been, it's very, very strange. Now, I will say, I want to give a little bit of a compliment to this game in terms of how it handles explaining the DLC when you have it. Some things, especially Atlas games specifically, are a little bit guilty of, is you'll get DLC and it'll be like, cool, where is this? Like, how do I start this quest? How do I do X, Y, or Z? All of it has their own individual text in the detective journal, and that's really, really helpful in the sense of you're always going to know where to start everything. Like, if you want to do the trainings, or if you're wanting to do the, like, extra riffs and stuff, you know that you're not going to be able to start that DLC until at least Episode 3 or later. And it fully explains everything, it doesn't spoil it, lets you know what's kind of there. And that's also even in the store description as well, but having something in-game that specifically will be like, to start this mission, go here, talk to this fox statue, do blah blah blah. I think that's really smart. For the training one, though, the weird thing about that is you start it by talking to one of the fox statues at the shrine, but it's not highlighted like it's new text. It's literally just kind of added on to questions you can ask them and blends in really, really easily and just does not stand out as something new to experience. Similarly with the new riffs that you get, the 4 riffs in the training hall are just like every other rift you would come across normally. Like they're in predetermined floors and spots on each level, but it's like, okay, outside of the fact that you can just redo them and they have a little title screen that pops up for them, nothing about this screams like, oh, this is original or new content that you've just downloaded. And it's kind of weird of like, yeah, they probably didn't want to have to make like a brand new spot just for these riffs to be at, and throwing them in the training center makes the most sense. The weird thing for it, though, especially with these riffs, is like, alright, cool that you're there. they have like the chunkiest looking title screen. It pops up and it shows the name of your trial you're about to go into. The resolution of the text is really grainy and low, almost like it is a PS2 texture. But this is something made specifically for Raidou Remastered. Like, I don't know why the text on this, at least for the PlayStation 5 version where I'm playing on, looks so bad. And the trials or whatever, again, there's nothing exclusive about them. They're in a training hall map. There's nothing new, no exclusive demons, no exclusive boss fights. You're just doing this to grind for the materials. Ironically and disappointingly, if you're looking for something that's kind of a new experience, the training missions where you're just grinding really easy enemies for either free XP, free money, or free stat increasing are the training DLC, which I guess this makes sense why it's the most expensive one at $7. This was the weirdest surprise for me. So it throws you back to the Kuzunoha village where you start the game at in the tutorial, but what's strange about it is obviously it's just a tiny hallway meant for you to grind and burn through demons really quick. The battles are not that hard. What's odd about it is, and this is the only place that does this, there is a brand new song that was made for Raidou Remastered that is only in this DLC. If you play any battle in the training rooms of Power, Wealth, or Indulgences, you will get an 8-bit remix or rearrangement of the battle theme from Raidou. And this is on the CD. It's one of the new songs that Atlas rearranged for Raidou Remastered. It's a really cool track, but like this is how I know no one has done this, or at least no one cared enough to record anything about this. As of the time of me posting this, like, I haven't heard anyone talk about this. I didn't see anyone be like, oh, cool, they put a new 8-bit song in this DLC. Like, that's a cool little fun touch, because there's new music implemented into this dungeon that, yeah, you're just going in and grinding to make the game easier for you. But, like, hey, that's something. Like, that was the only time while playing this I was like, whoa, I'm getting some bang for my buck here. It's really disappointing. The only place there's new music are these little training rooms, especially because with the 4 exclusive riffs, all of those also could have had other arranged songs. Like, there are multiple new rearranged songs that were released with Raidou Remastered that are not easily accessible, and it'd be like, yeah, why not just put one new song for each trial, and that would have been something, but no, you just get a weirdly blurry text screen and that's it. Last little thing, in terms of reviewing it, the DLC demons are such a blah thing. I think, ironically, if there weren't SMT5 demons already in the game, it might be something a little bit cooler. But, like, even for someone like me, like, I love Fionn Mac, I love Artemis, especially with the, like, female Saint Seiya design, and even, like, weird Monokuma, Danganronpa-inspired Zeus, like, I'm a big fan of all those designs. These DLC demons just feel so awkwardly shoehorned into the game, and then the fact that they are locked behind a paid paywall is just so weird. They are extremely out of place. They look nothing like any of the other demons in the game. You can kind of say that for the other SMT5 demons, but like even something like Mermaid and Turbo Granny don't stick out as much as a giant golden lightning dragon or a 20-foot tall Zeus. Like, they all are just proportionally out of whack. Like, they're all obviously way larger than Raidou, but not within like a normal proportion. It's super, super strange how large they are for seemingly almost no reason. Like, it feels like they were just kind of, alright, cool, does it clip through everything it walks by? Yeah. But does it break the game? Oh, okay, cool, go for it. The only demons that, of course, even make any sense in the world would be Gozuki and Mezuki. But again, it's like, okay, I'm paying for the PS2 demons from Raidou 2, even though there are already demons from future SMT games in Raidou Remastered. It's like they don't look better. Like, they didn't even like remake them for this game at all. Like, they are straight up just lifted from that game in 2008. The only kind of benefit that's like, oh, well, I guess that's nice, is there are recorded lines. So, like, they all had to record their voice actors saying Raidou or having Raidou call out their name. So it's like, okay, well, I mean, at least, like, they're not going to stand out like a sore thumb. And again, you've got the obvious complaint that always happens with the DLC demons or personas for Atlas games. They will instantly break the game for you. If you get Zeus, he's like over level 50, you can summon him for free, even if you're level 1. As soon as you have access to the Gomaden, you can summon all these DLC demons for free. There is no consequence for it. They will be the most powerful demon you have for a very, very long time. There is nothing stopping you from using them right away. Now, of course, you can still just summon them normally and wait till you have the proper demons at the right level like you normally would. But I think with the fact that the games have always still let you summon them early is just like, yeah, cool, you could do that, but if you probably are the kind of person who's going to pay a couple of bucks for some extra demons, you're probably not going to wait till you are able to play them level-wise if you could just do it right now and make the game a little bit easier for you. Even for someone like me, like when I have these DLC demons, I will check them out. But as soon as I was done making this video, I was like, yeah, I'm only going to use the ones who are, like, around my level. And that was, like, a bummer. Of like, there are already so few demons you get for these couple of bucks you're paying for. It's just, like, what was the point? Like, obviously, it didn't feel like they held any meaningful demons back for this DLC. But it was like, okay, for the demons that are included, it felt like a ripoff. But at the same time, it's like you didn't want them to hold anyone hostage, so it was just very, very, very strange. All the DLC in this game is just like one big theming of this is like either insulting or at the very best is like, well, that's interesting. But at the end of the day, it's like none of this needed to exist, especially for a remaster so well done. It's like such a blemish that like the only saving grace on this DLC is I know no one who bought it. Like at least with most DLC for Atlas games, there's one or two that will get people. Like Soul Hackers having the story mission, or the like Ringo Frost, Persona 5 having the Persona 3 and 4 extra boss fight demons, the SMT5 DLC that let you either have brand new demons or side quests. All of those, there's like, I can kind of see why you might want this. All of this in Raidou is a big skip. Like, unless somehow you are like the world's biggest fan of 8-bit battle music, or like Artemis, Zeus, and other SMT5 demons that you felt were missing in this game, which you won't. Like, there are so many demons in this game. Like, it's all a huge skip. Like, I feel like at least with normally most of these Atlas review videos I do, I'll be like, this was worth it, or like, this was cool, I recommend this, I could see someone wanting to get this. No. They all do nothing. They all make the game easier, like, beyond babyfied easy. No costumes. The only cool piece of music is hidden behind an extremely lame way to just break the game instantly. So it's like, either you're robbing yourself of the experience by playing this game and the money, or you just ignore it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to tell everybody to ignore it at this point. This is how you knew it was bad. Of like, I love this game. I have been really, really having so much fun with Raidou Remastered. I was dreading making this video. Like, before the game even came out, I was like, there's no way I'm going to like any of this DLC. But, to make this video, I wasn't just going to be like, ugh, this looks like it sucks. I'm going to have my opinion be that. And I'm like, yeah, it sucks, but it's like, I like making these videos, I like talking about them, I like being a part of the conversation in the sense of like, hey, if I'm going to complain about something, I at least want to know why it sucks outside of, that doesn't look like a good deal. I can now be the one stupid idiot on YouTube who spent the extra 20 bucks and can confirm it was a very bad deal. Atlas, please do better with DLC. You have done good DLC before. One of these days I'm going to review all the DLC from Persona 3 Reload. I'm actually one of the sickos who liked that DLC. Hopefully this is the last for a while I have to complain about bad DLC in Atlas games, but Raidou Remastered, absolute trash DLC. awful free DLC and insulting prices and everything else with it. Can't not recommend enough. That's my review. Let me know what you think. Do you have any questions about this? Is there anything else you either were curious about, wanting to see what would have been cool DLC for Raidou? All of your questions, comments, and all that stuff would be super appreciated down in the comments below. If you made it this far, also please let me know. I always love getting those comments that are like, I made it to the end of this overly long rant. So, thank you all so much for listening. If you also made it this far and are not subscribed, please, please, please consider subscribing. I am stupidly close to reaching 7,000 subscribers. I would love to get there by the end of July, and every little bit helps. Liking the video, sharing it, and especially subscribing to the video. Thank you all again. Goodbye.